foxes come out, the trees fill with chirping birds, but she truly had an affinity for all living creatures. Singing for her was not only a great gift that she recognized, but it was a passion. She would walk around the house and just break into song. And of course, she purposely shared that gift to everyone worldwide. She's been honored by prime ministers and presidents and the Queen, and recognized with every possible award and accolade for her talents. But what made her most happy was being at ranch, being with the horses, being with the chickens and the dogs and the cat, or sitting in the courtyard just listening to bird songs. She did have a weakness though, and that was directions. North, south, east, west. It just never fully imprinted on her. She would say, hey, just tell me, turn left, turn right. And I explained that the sun comes up out of the ocean in the east in front of our apartment, and it goes over, sets in the west, and that happens pretty much the same way every day. So for her birthday, I bought her a compass. It was a good compass, an official Boy Scout trailblazer that does everything a compass is supposed to do. And I coupled that with a trip to the out islands in the Bahamas, this gorgeous turquoise water. And one day we took the boat up to Big Guana Key, and on the way back, we ran into a little bit of weather. The wind started picking up, the clouds blew in, the sea got really choppy, the rain came, the wind was howling, and it was like someone throwing thumbtacks in your face. And this was a small little 8-meter runabout with the center console, and the only instrument was a magnetic compass. And I had a heading for Hopetown, but I knew with the sea and the wind and the currents that after a few minutes that we may have kind of been swept out between two islands and be in the open Atlantic headed towards Africa. But she was behind me, holding on tight, shielding herself from the pelting rain. And then just as quickly as the storm started, it began to subside. And the rain stopped, the winds died down, the sun poked through a hole in the clouds, the sea turned back to that gorgeous turquoise blue. And that's kind of when the rainbow started. The big rainbow on the left side of the boat came up around this giant colorful arch all the way over to the right side. And then the dolphins appeared. And the dolphins were just jumping at the bow of the boat, leading us across this calm turquoise sea, under the rainbow, and towards the lighthouse. And that really happened. And she looked at me like I was a superhero. I knew it was blind faith and dumb luck. But we both recognized the fingerprints of the supernatural on that. And that's the way we lived our life. Every day with Olivia was supernatural. Every day with Olivia was a bit of magic. Gyroplane is half airplane, half helicopter. And a friend of mine flew one up to the ranch, and we took it up and for some air therapy, just flying low and slow through the canyons out over the ocean. And he said to me, he said, John, when you're lucky enough to find your true soulmate and you share a heart, and one passes, the other has the obligation to live life for both. And that was very empowering for me. I carry and feel Olivia's presence, her sense of humor, the spirit of adventure, the commonality of purpose we shared. And that gives me the strength to carry on until I find her again in that ultimate space of love and light. A couple of nights after Olivia passed, I was lying in bed, And I felt a hand over my diaphragm lifting out, and it pulled in a deep breath of air filling my lungs. And as I started breathing again, these are the words that fell from my heart. Olivia, our love for each other transcends our understanding. Every day we expressed our gratitude for this love that could be so deep, so real, so natural. We never had to work on it. We were in awe of this great mystery and just accepted the experience of our love as past, present, and forever. At Olivia's deepest essence, she was a healer, using her mediums of song, the words of touch. She was the most courageous woman I've ever met. And her bandwidth for genuinely caring about people, about animals, about creatures of all kinds, eclipses almost what is humanly possible. It was only the grace of God that has allowed me to share the depth and passion of her being for so long. In her most difficult times, she always had the spirit, the humor, and the willpower to move things into the light.